So I made every mistake possible when learning to draw. It was like, you know that guy, what's his name off The Simpsons? I ran into every pitfall, right? I would make the hands too small, I would straighten out the pose, I'd make the head too big, I'd put the eyes too high on the head, just everything. And I've made other videos which cover a lot of those technical classic mistakes. You could actually say a lot of that stuff is not really a mistake. They're just natural steps on the road to learning to draw, because everyone has to go through them. I'm going to talk about real mistakes, like things that just set me back, which didn't help at all. 3 big things. And then we're going to see how I think all 3 of those things actually come back to the same big overarching problem, like the lord of the mistakes. So mistake number 1 is avoiding skills. So every skill in drawing that I've learned, I started out by avoiding it, which never helped, right? And so perspective, learning to draw with simple forms, learning to draw gesture and to draw quicker, learning about simplifying values. Like I resisted every single one, and I'd make all kinds of excuses about why I didn't need to learn it. It's like, that would make my art too stiff, or that's not really my style of drawing, or it's too boring, art should be fun. All kinds of excuses, and then eventually I'd realize, you know what, I have to learn this thing. And I could have just avoided that whole process and just got stuck in, because obviously I need to learn those things. So the second big kind of fundamental error I made while pursuing art was doing it for the wrong reasons. And you can actually reframe why you're doing something in different ways. And so the way that I was framing it was around what I would get back from other people, right? Trying to get popularity or recognition, trying to get people's respect or whatever. And a lot of it comes back to fear. Like I was afraid of not being approved of, afraid of rejection, afraid of being inferior. And there's a way to reframe all of this to go back to the real reason that we want to pursue art, which is we have these visual experiences as we go through life, things that we find beautiful or interesting in some way, and we want to capture that and get closer to it, and then share it with other people and connect with them in that way. And so I was kind of forgetting that, and as cheesy as it sounds, doing it for the wrong reasons. So the third big fundamental error was being horrible to myself through the process. So it's like, why are you doing this? You're a grown man and this drawing is terrible. It looks like a kid's drawing. What are you doing? Look at that 12-year-old child painting better than you. And you're in your 30s, you've got kids. Why are you drawing like this? You should be doing some real work instead of wasting your time. Look at that newborn baby who can paint like Sasha Hartzliev and Kazuo Oga rolled into one, and meanwhile you're doing this figure. You've been making that same mistake right there over and over and over. And just imagine if someone, an actual art teacher, was talking to a student that way. You'd be like, should I call the police? Like, this is abuse. And that is how I would often talk to myself while learning to draw, and sometimes still do. So what is this overarching mistake I think we make when we're learning to draw and paint, right? I think it's confusing the process of learning art skills with the creation of art. So when you're talking about art skills, they can actually be compared, right? Like perspective, who is better at perspective, who does perspective better? Perspective is a technical exercise. When it comes to anatomy, it's like, who has a better understanding of anatomy? Who knows which muscles attach to this bone and go to what bone? You can quantify these things. You can compete on these things. And so that thing about comparing yourself to other people or feeling inadequate about it, or avoiding skills because you're afraid of them because you think, what if that's really hard and I'm not going to know how to do it and stuff like that. These things all apply to putting lots of pressure and lots of value and importance on the skill building aspect of learning art, forgetting that that's actually not the ultimate point of this whole thing. The ultimate point here is to create artwork And the only person that can, I know this is incredibly cheesy sounding, but it's super true. The only person who can create your artwork is going to be you, because the whole point of your artwork is to see what you see. Like, I don't care about someone who's super skilled and they can do really, really cool technical drawings or whatever, but it doesn't mean anything to them. They don't care about that. What I want to know is, as I've gone through life, I've noticed moments in life, or I've had things in my imagination, right? And I want to see what you saw. Like, you found this moment beautiful, or you found this thing terrifying, or you thought up this like turtle with a machine gun or whatever it was. I want to see what you saw, and only you can deliver that. And the point of the skill building is just that you can more accurately express and portray these things that you saw, that your mind showed you. And I'm seeing these things and I want to get closer to them. It gets a bit complicated because as you build skills, you see more and more things. Like, you appreciate different things, you find different things beautiful as you build your skills. But ultimately, what I want to do is immerse myself in those moments, those visual moments, and bring them to life, like capture them and show them to other people. And I want to see what other people create as well. And so this is the thing that we're all doing as artists, and we all have varying levels of skill. As you build more skills, you can more clearly show that thing that you saw, that you cared about, that you imagined. So that's why skills are cool, but they're a means to an end. And I think sometimes we forget what the real end was, which was creating art. So we might feel inferior or compete or compare ourselves or whatever about art skills, but ultimately it's not about the skills anyway. So we can dial down that pressure and we can relegate art skills to its proper place, which is as a means to an end. And the real thing that really matters is the creation of art, and you're the only person, as cheesy as it sounds, who's gonna make the artwork that you're supposed to make. And so there is no comparison there. When the whole point is just the skills, it's really easy to just get into a pure problem-solving mindset. Like, the problem is, I lack skill. And so I need to go from this -20 level of skill and try and get to 0. Right? So it's quite a negative experience in that sense, right? But when we reframe that, you start by having this visual interest in the world. Like, you start by appreciating beautiful things or interesting things or having things in your imagination. And so that's a positive place to be. You're already at +20 as soon as you decide you want to be an artist, because you appreciate these things, and then you're going to build skills to get even closer to them, to express them more clearly. And so you're going to build and create on top of that positive baseline. So we're going from +20 to +1,000,000 or whatever. All right, I don't know how this scoring system works, but it's just a different way of thinking about it. This is why what I really appreciate most in art is its sincerity. Like, is it coming from you just really trying to get closer to and express those visual moments and experiences that mean something to you? That is what I love to see. And that's why I love hanging out in our community on Love Life Drawing. And whatever the skill level, I really enjoy seeing people's drawings and paintings, because it's so genuine and sincere, and we're on that journey together. When what's driving you is this obsession with just the skill and having lots of skill and being jealous of other people's skill and trying to beat them and stuff like that, it can be quite powerful in the short term, but it's just not a sustainable fuel that's going to drive you along for the full journey that you need to go on. If you have that much clearer picture of why you're doing it, with the skills as a means to that end, it's a way more sustainable fuel source for you, and it's going to keep you going for long enough that you actually get the skills that you want. So let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. Have you made any of those mistakes? Have you made the Lord of the mistakes? I really love to hear your experience, and there should be another video up on the screen just for you, so check it out.